Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing today? How is the current space weather affecting you? I'm really genuinely interested because we have had a really last week was filled with so much fire. So I'm really intrigued and really interested in what's happening in your world, what's burning away, what are you fighting, what are you dancing with? Last week we talked about Aries being a dancer, and getting to see Aries in its more aligned state and what that may look like. And so, yeah, if you've got any insight, please put it in the chat. Drop it down below in the comments. We will respond to your comments on YouTube. I'd love to see, what's happening in your world and how did last week's message speak to you and how this week's message might speak to you as well. So, yeah, drop it in the comments. Let us know. I am Io Ashmasako. I am here for the void. I am so here for the void, so here for the unknown, so here to be an anchor point in the okayness of not knowing. And yeah, even though we do give you a lot of knowing in these calls, Bonnie, Sunshine, and myself, there is also a place that you can go that says, hey, this doesn't sound right for me, right? Or it may be, oh, hey, this does sound right for me. And just having that claircognizance of that, knowing that, oh, it sounds right or it doesn't sound right, and then not attaching any stories to it. Is there a place for you to be like, yeah, that sounds right, and I'm just okay with it? Or that doesn't sound right, and I'm just okay with it, that you don't have to, pull the threads of like, well, why isn't it okay? Or why is it okay? Or anything like that. It's just an invitation to just be here in the moment with Bonnie and I while we're going through some of this really cool space weather that's going to be hitting us this week.
Thanks, Io. Hi, I'm Bonnie. Sunshine. I'm giggling with so much of what you're saying. I normally use the Psychic Tarot card deck while we're here live. And today, the Threads of Fate Shadow Edition is coming through. And the Snake card fell out of movement. So the dancing is still alive. And I want to anchor in what you was saying, that your timing is the right timing for you. We all experience the space weather and what's happening in our worlds differently and at different timings. So for you and I, we often feel things ahead of time. And I know for me, it carries through many days, and sometimes it's super fast. Yours might be on the delayed side where you feel it after the weather has kind of gone through. And all of that is okay. Our invitation for you is to bring your guides, bring your intuition, bring all your clairs with you to these sessions. Remember to hydrate and breathe through your asshole. Let's see what else. And put
I've
everything aside. The
Yeah,
invitation is to put everything aside so you can be here for this 45 minutes for yourself.
thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, what was coming in is take a breath, deep breath into your belly. Like Bonnie said, let your asshole breathe, let it relax, let it chill out. This is a place for calm. I will also bring in some acknowledgments and logistics. I am in a house that I'm not normally in, so you may hear some keys jangling or stuff, some noises happening. If that happens, just know there's other people in the house with me right now. My father's here, and one of my dear sisters is also here. So just a heads up. And like I said, when you see this backdrop, that means I'm back in Austin for a little while. Additionally, last week we I have a correction to make because last week I talked about the marriage of Aries and Aphrodite, or the marriage of, Aries and Venus. and they weren't actually technically married, so I have a correction to bring up. They were soul married, like they were in love, like head over heels in love with each other, and they had like a marriage of the soul, but they didn't have a technical marriage. So I just want to bring that correction in for anyone. So yeah. Okay. That's where I'm at. Bonnie, do you have anything else?
What are you all drinking today? What are you bringing with you? What's on your heart? I want to pin that we love how you connect with each other and us in the chat. You and I are responders in human design. So as you connect with each other and with us through the chat here live or even on the recordings, we get more information coming through for you. So we love that.
I am drinking water right now. I already had my cup of tea. I had some brown rice green tea today, and I'm on water. I'm also like feeling super tired. Like I'm just gonna call that into this space as well. I'm feeling pretty low energy. So yeah, and slightly distracted. My little brother's getting married today. I'm so excited. Yay. Congratulations to both him and his wife. I'm super stoked for it. So I'm also like, my brain's like not fully here. And so just an awareness of that.
Yeah, thanks for naming that. That's one thing that we talked about a couple of months ago is naming the things that are in the field for each of us. And I can already feel like some tension has eased because you name that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just owning it. There's nothing bad, there's nothing good. It's a state of neutrality. It's just a thing, you know. It's like I'm a little more distracted than I normally am for these videos. So just an awareness there. And I am feeling a deep desire to start digging in because we've got a lot today. Oh, we good with that?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this up. And okay, today we have got a holistic theme, or not for just today. This is the holistic theme that is going to be moving throughout your week, right? It might not be throughout your week, like we said, like Bonnie said, there can be a little delayed, but eventually just pay attention. This might be moving through your week. This is a warrior in the garden, right? So we've got this like Aries, like very direct warrior energy that's been coming in, and it can sometimes be very loud. And on one side of it, it can sometimes feel like aggression or like this push or pull energy, this kind of like I want to run, you know. And also, the invitation for this week is to be really aware of that. Like Aries in its unconscious is can sometimes be like super impulsive, super destructive. The idea is that like it like just rips and tears out the garden that you've been planting potentially. And that can happen if you're kind of not paying attention. If you're just like, oh, Aries, go like, you know, run and have your time with the garden, have fun. And, you know, if not paying attention, Aries can really bring up some some more kind of shadowy aspects, as we would sometimes call them. Now, the flip side of this is Aries in its aware state. And what came to me was this picture of this samurai warrior, this incredible samurai warrior, where he takes his helmet off and he sets it to the side and he pulls his breastplates and his armor off of his chest and he sets it to the side and he sits down with a bonsai tree and he gets very intentional and very meticulous, right? When we look at a lot of the warriors that we know and see, even here in the US, like there is a level of peace that is found within ourselves to be able to be the best warrior we can be, right? So this is a discipline when things are on fire around you. How do you drop into yourself and into a state of calm that you can see forward and be able to still be able to cultivate your garden. And when I'm talking about the garden, what's coming in very strongly is the garden is a location in the meditation space, in the spiritual space, in our own psyches. And it's normally related to abundance and to a lot to work is coming in and coming through right now. Like, what do you do for work? What do you do, to benefit the rest of humanity? What do you do to benefit yourself? When I'm talking about the garden, that's really what I'm talking about here. One of the things is that Aries, when Aries is in its really aware state, it knows when it's time to weed things out of the garden, to pull them out, to re- I'll share the release thing, but uh, this is a time to let go. Like Aries knows when it's time to let go of a thing. Aries also knows when it's time to step back, right? The aware state of Aries knows when it's time to step back and be in a place of patience and just watching it grow or tending to it like a bonsai tree, right? Aries also knows when it's time to light the entire garden on fire, right? In its aware state, where are you coming from a place of responsiveness versus reactivity? Like that's a really, really big theme holistically for this week. So, Bonnie, what's going on coming in for you in the cards? And yeah,
Yeah. It's so interesting when you said, when you are originally talking about Aries, you said tearing up the garden. And the first hit I got was Agus. Angels, God, goddess, ancestors, universe, source. Any other word coming through? No, okay. Um, and if anybody works with angels specifically, sending them to assist with that energy that might feel crunchy. Um, they're here to be used. And what I do is I ask the number of angels and I ask them to do something specific, like um, help me keep the space clear. And I'll set a time limit and have them work in the background. The other thing that came through was this choose wisely card, and it came through upside down. So it's actually pointing back at you or me. It's pointing at me. So it's coming in as reversed. The choose wisely is that we get to make the choice as what gets torn up, what gets released, what gets removed. We get to choose the direction. And it starts with harvesting for ourselves first, pointing it back at you. It's like when you point a finger at other people, you have three fingers pointed back at yourself. And this will accelerate your motion. You'll move faster towards the stars. Go ahead, you have something.
I'm laughing because you had brought in that new deck when we first started, and wasn't the first card that dropped out for you and I movement as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a Kundalini snake here, right? That is showing movement too, which I find really, really interesting. So, and this is where we are in this whole state holistically this week is in a state of movement. And the question is, and what's really coming in is, are you going to sprint? Are you going to jog? Are you going to walk? Like the choice is yours. And there's an invitation here, right? There's a deep invitation here to be really aware of where you're stepping.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, don't step on the venomous snake is what's coming in.
Yeah, so this was the card that fell out with the snake, and it's Get Curious.
Ah, gosh, I love it.
So look at
Get
all the
curious.
roots.
God, so many roots. It looks like a metal, like I feel like that should be a metal band logo.
I love this deck. The Threads of Fate kit deck is really cool.
I want to bring in awareness. Do I keep freezing to you guys? Because on my side, it keeps freezing. Is it
Yeah,
freezing my voice as well?
no,
No. Okay. So the vocals are
just your
good.
video.
Okay. So I'm essentially a robot right now, guys. It's a thing. So I also want to bring in this. This was brought to me by a really beautiful and incredible soul that I met at a Russian banya. And release, right? When we start thinking about that word, right? A lot of us are playing with etymology and the power behind words. And she was like, I am no longer choosing to use the word release for things that I am letting go of. She's like, because in my mind, it's saying that I am releasing it. I'm putting a new lease on it. And she's like, I don't want to do that. So now she's just like, yeah, no, I'm going to just let it the fuck go. So that was the little release thing that had come up earlier when I said I'll bring it back in. So this week, what I actually decided to do is to give you a day by day snapshot of what's happening on the days. So today is the 14th, currently, as of this recording. And the message that came through for today is specifically the mind catches fire. Brain fog is out and clarity is in. And this is the mind is the sword, it is sharp. These are precise cuts through bullshit, right? And if you notice, like Bonnie and I are talking about it, it's like saying the thing. I'm like, I'm distracted right now. Like, that's okay. Like, my mind is still sharp. I'm still here. The invitation, the practice for this week would be for specifically for this day for Mercury going into Aries, and this is going to be kind of hanging out until May 2nd. So this energy is going to be around for a little while, y'all. And this is Mercury going into Aries. Mind catches fire, right? Mercury is going from that foggy state we've been sitting into a really like precise pinpoint. And the practice that I'm going to invite you to is say the thing. Say it out loud, right? Now, if you're operating from the aware warrior position, you've thought and been like, oh, I'm coming from this from a place of responsiveness, not reactiveness. Here's the other thing, y'all, and this has come up, and it's interesting. It came up on somebody's feed not that long ago that people were talking about like hexing or cursing other people and like what's okay, what's not okay. And I'm also like, this may be a unpopular opinion. And also, I am, if you say it impulsively, is it normally the best? Nah, not always. Does it normally get you to where you need to go sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to be sharp. Sometimes it's okay to be angry. Sometimes it's okay to fucking yell. Sometimes it's okay to be reactive and not just responsive, right? And you learn your own distinctions. What are you okay with? And I'm not talking, about, what other people in your life are okay with. My father and I just had that this week. We were sitting and I got mad. I got really mad at him and I yelled at him. And that does not normally happen. And also, I've been saying the same thing calmly for years, honestly, years. And he just wasn't listening and kept interrupting me. And I got angry and I was like, I'm fucking done. I was like, fuck you. And I yelled at him. And that shock to his system, although was it fun for either one of us? No, it wasn't fun for either one of us. It felt crunchy. It felt gross. Afterwards, he came back and he was like, oh, I think I'm starting to get it now. And explained it to me. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so freaking much. Right? Like that I like, okay. And you're getting it not just from a place of fear, but like from seeing how important it was for me. How important. So this is an invitation, you can come from reactive, you can come from responsive. Just know where you're coming from and be aware of it. And then like, does your reactiveness cause impact in others? And then how do you address it afterwards? Yeah, we got some kitty loving coming in for help.
Yeah, the other thing with that is the only way you can change how
Bonnie,
people.
I'm going to pause you for a second because as much as I love Willow laying on you, she's covering your mic.
Oh, ha ha.
Willow, you're
I
totally invited. And also,
I put it lower today, so yeah, she was totally covering it. Um, The interesting part about that is the only way that you can change how people interact with you is if you change how you interact with them. It's that reaction. And it can be that snapping people out of their normal response cycle with you. So I love that that worked for you.
Yeah, thanks so much. And it's not a place that I love to go. I'm a 40, how old am I now? I'm a 43-year-old woman, like I'm like that's not my preferred method is to scream at my father. Like we have a really beautiful and incredible relationship. And sometimes like it happens, like sometimes it does. And it's like, do we need a place of repair? And, getting curious, like that card said, Bonnie, right? Get curious. Like ask people, ask them questions. Yeah. So this one I really love. You guys, this next aspect just lights my little shadowy swamp witchy world up so, so nicely. This is going to be happening Thursday the 16th. And we actually have two really, really large things that are happening Thursday the 16th. The first is going to be Sun being conjunct Chiron. If you are not familiar with Chiron yet, Chiron is what we call the wounded healer. It's the place, it's like the big shiny object of Chiron of what we are personally working on or working through within this lifetime, within this 3D lifetime. So I'd highly recommend going seeing where your Chiron placement is in your chart and getting some deeper information on that. So what came in, which I think this is the cutest thing ever, is it ain't easy being green. So this is like from Kermit and like the Muppets, and the information from it ain't easy being green is specifically like sometimes it's been a really, really difficult road to kind of play within these Chiron aspects within ourselves, like these wounded healers and this woundedness that we have inside of you. And healing requires courage. If we think about it's not easy being green, right? And I know it's so silly. It's so silly. And I love the silliness of it. Kermit is singing how difficult it is for him to be himself. And the vulnerability it takes a Muppet to do and to make a song about, hey guys, like it's really hard to be me sometimes. It's really difficult to be me sometimes. And sharing that and being really honest, like it's really difficult for me to be me sometimes. Like I tend to be a very shadow, like dark, swampy person. And I'm like, I would like more joy in my life. Right. And some people are in the joy spot and have difficulty going into the swamp. Like sometimes it's just difficult to be who we are. And there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Right. It's just beauty. And how do we accept who we are and where we are? And that's a really big part. So, one of the other parts that came in with this Sun conjunct Chiron, and this is the aspect of this is going to be really heavy for the next 4 days. So, even though we have all this mental clarity, there may also feel like a heaviness over it. And I'm getting kind of like almost like a body or mental, emotional, like kind of exhaustion that can come up from this because so many of us have been on the healing journey. And the real huge beauty about the Sun being conjunct Chiron right now is meet the places where you've been hurt. And the big, big takeaway with this is the Sun will share where you have already healed, right? So this is like sometimes it's good to do an inventory and to go back through and be like, what have I healed in myself? What are some of the great things that I have done, the achievements that I have mastered, whether in myself or out in the world? What are the things I'm really proud about myself? And the Sun is giving you an ample, opportune time for these next 4 days to really dig into that. Like, what am I happy about? What am I excited about? What have I done that I'm really proud of myself? It's giving yourself a pat on the back. There is a technique and a gift and invitation for this, but I'm feeling called to bring Bonnie in right now before I give you that technique.
Thanks. I'm getting that we're light bearers, and it's showing me the Hermit card in traditional tarot where we're carrying the lantern. And that is also the sun where we shine a light on our own path so that others can follow theirs. And we are the guiding light for us and others. So going back to that sun, sharing where you've already healed, that's where you shine, where you've worked through the things that help other people so that they can see that there is another side. Instead of being in the muck and the yuck and feeling like they're never going to get through it, you and those parts of you that are shining help them see that they can get through that. Anything else? Nope, that was it.
Thank
Yay.
you. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and then the thing is like, so to give you an example, you talked about like your Chiron is in Aries, right? So you're in it right now. Like you're in it. Like, and it's where your perspective is right now, right?
Mm.
Are you the warrior in the garden that's tending and protecting it? Or are you the warrior in the garden that's just like running through it, rampaging it, ripping everything up? Or are you maybe both of them? And how can you be both of them in a conscious and aware state? It's
My
cool.
Libra is my moon is Libra. So I'm always like, yes, and
Yes,
it's
and
everything.
yes, and I want it all. Yeah, like my Chiron is in Taurus, and I'm literally remodeling and building a house in Austin right now. And it's been a fucking journey, y'all. It's been a journey, and it's been very frustrating and very enlightening and very like, and I made a decision like last week that like was a really, really, really difficult decision for me to come to. And now I was like, okay, I am not okay with this and I'm going to exit. I love you and I'm going to exit. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done building the house in the way that we're doing it right now. And once I did that, I then spoke to somebody else and they're like, I'll come on and I'll do all the things you've been asking for. And I was like, oh, hi. Thank you. Because I released the idea of, hey, I had to stay in this, it then opened up space for somebody new to come in and do what I need. I've been asking and I desire and I need to have done. Need is actually a really real statement for me. So yeah.
Mhm. I'm seeing like in a movie with a wand or somebody's doing like whipping all the energy up into the right place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is, yeah, when we're talking about the garden, it's like, what are you weeding out? What are you pulling out? We've got people with Chiron in Gemini, only Gemini placement. It's so interesting. So when I think about Gemini, it's like it's the twins. It's the like I see two faces, right? I see one face on one side and one face on the other. Like that's the picture that's coming in. And there's something about duplicity coming in and a balance of self. So dig in. Like that's, this is like what came in as well. Yeah. And Bonnie, that's your only Aries placement.
Yeah.
I've I think I've got Taurus and something is no. Yeah, I do. I've got Taurus and one other thing, but it's not like a
Mm.
common planet, which is interesting. We'll look into that. The practice or the gift or invitation. Would y'all like that now? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the gift or invitation for this, and I just went through this with one of my clients just as a reminder, is to be in a place of reparenting yourself. And if you're not familiar with reparenting, what you can do is you can go to your safe psychic space, right? I hope everybody has figured out they have a safe psychic space or a safe otherworldly place that they can go that doesn't just exist in this 3D. And you can go to wherever that is and you can sit down and you can ask for any of your wounded children to show themselves to you. And when I'm saying wounded children, I'm talking about pieces of ourselves that have been fragmented off due to trauma, things that have been fragmented off because of ancestral stuff or other life stuff. And you can just sit and ask, who wants to show themselves to me today? I did when I did some of this years ago, what's coming in is a piece of me that was a dancer, the part of me that danced and loved to dance, and how she had gotten fragmented off and was afraid to dance and didn't want to dance. So I would sit in my special place. My place has a field. And I sat there and I said, hey, if you want to come forward, feel free to. I'm just going to sit here. And she came forward. She was so excited to come out and to come back into integration with me. And this is in like a meditative space. She ran up to me, gave me a huge hug, and then just started dancing. And I sat there as the adult and got to witness this child dance. And now, because of that, I now have that aspect where I love to dance. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. It is one of my absolute favorite things is to go to ecstatic dance and dance. And because of that, I was able to do that. So this is an invitation for you. Go to your safe place, sit down and see who wants to come forward. Some may need to hug. Some may need to yell at you. Some may need to just dance. And that way you start a conversation with these own pieces within yourself that may or may have not been fragmented.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I was hearing the word fragmentation when you were talking about our Chiron earlier, and how, because when there's more than one aspect to ourselves, it can feel like fragmentation. And some of us have been through fragmentation in our lives. I can remember several instances in my life where I had a fragment. And that's part of my work, is helping people come back from that and really understand what they might have lost, and bringing those pieces home to themselves.
I love that. Yeah, this is a lot of the work that you do. Like, and I do it tangentially, strangely, right? Like in intuitive stuff. I'm like, it comes up. I'm like, I'm just here for whatever shows up. Like, yeah, I do. Is the main intention to be a coach for your intuition? Yes, and I'm actually just here for whatever the fuck shows up. And I feel like you're very much the same way, right? It's like I think all coaches are kind of like that. We have our intentions, and then we also have a knowledge that what shows up, and that's what we're here for. So I'm still noticing I have four other aspects to go to through, and there's a lot. So I feel like I've been going very, very slow, which is totally okay. So I'm going to speed it up just a little bit if it's okay with everybody. Bonnie, is it okay with you?
For sure. And also, we can have them go to school and get the rest of them if we don't finish,
Yeah, this is
if
also
that
true
feels all
as
right.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Bonnie puts up this really, really beautiful like spread of all the cards that were pulled. I sent her a picture of all of my notes, which I don't even touch in on all of this stuff. Like there's a lot on here, guys. So if you go to school, you can have that and you can read through and have like a tangible thing. I like to read personally, so that's why I do it this way, because I don't just like listening to video personally. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So, the same day, Thursday the 16th, we also have gate three. And this is the gate of ordering in the traditional human design and the gate of innovation in the quantum human design. And when I'm talking about quantum human design, I'm specifically pulling this from Dr. Karen Parker. So, go check out her work if that speaks to you. And this right here, what came through for me on this was planting seeds and tending the garden. We're hanging out in the garden pretty much this entire time, guys. Just fair warning. So last week, you may have pulled up a bunch of things that weren't really growing well, things that weren't serving you. And now it's really, really a good time. And this is for the 16th specifically. This is a really good time to take stock, right? To really like sit down and be in kind of an inventory mode of like, okay, like the green beans kind of withered and fucking died, but holy cow, the sunflowers are doing incredible right now. So, kind of taking stock of what is really, really growing. And then another aspect to it is, and this is coming in very loudly, and I don't know who this is for, and I don't know if it's somebody on replay or if it's just a collective vibe. Who is this for? It's for the mass majority of you. And they're also pointing to me. Thanks, guys. There are things that you should not share. There are things that you discover, innovations or ideas or projects that you are coming to that you should not be sharing yet. And it'll be pretty clear for you. Like, I got some information the other day and it came through, and I was like, oh, do I share this with them right now? And it was like, no. And it's like, when do I share it? And they told me the exact time. When I say they, I'm talking about my like guides. My guides give me the exact time when it's right to be sharing it. So right now, like the rune Berkana came up, which the rune Berkana looks like a kind of like a bee. It's like an angular bee. And Berkana literally is rune space. It's womb space, rune space. It's womb space. This is the feminine in the greater Futhark. This is in the runic like system and a Nordic tradition type stuff. If you want to go dig into that, you can. But it was one of my first, divination tools I started using. So Berkana is about the hidden secrets within. This is about the womb space. Like, we don't get to see the baby until the baby's out. And if you're cutting open the stomach to go stare at the freaking baby, something may not work out so great. Sorry to get like so like visceral and gross with it, like in that imagery. And also it's gonna be on blood, guts, and gore sometimes. So like, don't rip the stomach open to go look at the baby, guys. Let the baby come out of its own. And then when the baby comes out, then you can share that with the world once it's out. So there's womb space, void creation, and it's like inside secrets, inside secrets. And I've got people asking, like, well, what about sharing it with my closest friends? Yeah, no, not right now. Like, it's okay for you to have things for yourself. It's totally okay for you to have things for yourself, is what's coming through. And it was very clear, like, don't share it. And then the invitation for this is one idea that you're cultivating for you specifically, just for you, right? Whether it be a book that you're thinking about writing, or a program that you're working on, or a business aspect. And again, a lot of this stuff is work that's coming in, so there's a lot of underlinement for work right now. And yeah, Bonnie, I'm gonna go ahead and give you over to that gate 3, and I'll get ready for the next one.
Yeah, something was telling me to look up where gate 3 is. So in human design, it's coming out of the solar plexus down towards the root. And in your design, if you have gate 60, which is where it's pointing to, that completes the channel for you. So for this week, you have the energy, you have access to the frequency of that entire channel if you have gate 60, regardless of whether you have it in your design or your subconscious, your unconscious.
Thanks for bringing that in, because I got gate 60.
I was like, who is this for? I don't know who this is for.
It's for me because it's not completed on mine. Like,
yes.
It's right down here, guys. It's at the bottom. That's gate 60, and then gate 3 is right above it.
That's so funny. I was like, someone on the call.
Thank you. I'm gonna go dig a little bit more down to that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's move into some like very like, this is gonna feel a little bit more popped up energy. New moon, Friday the 17th, guys. We got a new moon coming in. It's great. We're sticking with the gardening thing because they're just really liking the garden thing right now. And this is happening Friday the 17th. And this is going to be affecting us all the way up until the full moon. So, and that's going to be around May 1st. So after the week of like last week, where it's very like me versus we, and how do we stay in relationship together, and what are we going to be doing together? If you want more information, go watch the video from last week. This week and this new moon is all like me, my energy, what I want, what are my desires, what are things I want to keep secret for me. Drop the armor, get really microscopic about your world and your life right now. Get really microscopic. What do I want to grow more of? What are the seeds that I've already planted that are really doing well? What are the ones that might be struggling that I really, really want to bring more? And I talked earlier about joy for myself, right? Like, my joy is important to me and I want to bring more of that into my life. So I'm going to start paying attention to more things that bring me joy. What brings me joy? Being here with you guys. This brings me joy. This brings me happiness. So I'm going to keep putting more energy into things like this. So, just an example. The practice for this one is, what do you want more of? Then find the smallest, the most teeniest, most basic ass motherfucking example to tune into and grow, right? Like, this is being the basic bitch. And I'm totally okay with being a basic bitch sometimes. If drinking, a Starbucks, fancy coffee drink, or, some chain thing really, really, really lights you up, well, how can you bring that more into your world, right? If you really enjoy getting coffee, maybe you start playing with making your own coffee at home. Maybe you start researching it a little bit more. It's finding a thing that you really love and working to just kind of expand it a little bit. But just find something simple in your life. Just for the fuck of it, just for practice, only if you want to. Only if you want to.
That's so interesting. It's like bringing all the things back that you were talking about, how the sun shines where others need it, but also where we need it, where we're growing the thing. It's the arrows pointing back towards us. And what the card I didn't show you yet is positive movement forward.
Are you kidding? Like,
And
literally all the cards are all movement, and so many of them are
yeah,
eights, which is abundance, which is wealth, which is affluence, right? Like, this is the thing, right? This is the flow of it. If you can start feeling the flow of the eight, all those cards are movement forward, Bonnie.
I know. And this one, I was just hearing in that last bit that it can feel like we're on our own island, where we're out to sea by ourselves. But this is really about that sun shining internally on the things so that they grow. And the card that came through with this one was harmony reversed.
Ugh, the creepy harmony card.
I know. This is about your internal harmony. And and all of these are literally pointing back. Point them back. I feel like it's a big circle with all of these cards.
It's really
Of
interesting because the solar plexus is coming in for me right now. That's lighting up in me, and that's the center of self, right? This is our identity, right? Is that solar plexus energy, right?
and
Firm foundations. Hey, wonder if he's dating anyone.
it's all coming down to this, that we are building our own firm foundations.
Ugh, I
And they
love
don't they
it.
don't have to look like what we thought they did. And
Yeah, right?
I love this internal triangle. It always reminds me of fire, but it's so interesting that it's at his back versus the front. So many people I work with, they live at the front of their body. They only feel the front. They don't feel the center. They don't feel the back. This is what's moving you forward. Your fire burns throughout.
Oof. Love it. And it's what great Aries energy that we have in that too. All right, we got Saturday the 19th. Mars is conjunct Saturn in Aries. This is, again, I've already said it, so I'm going to just make it kind of quick on this because it feels like I'm just like repeating myself over and over and over again. But it's obviously it's that important that literally all of the stars are telling us the same dang thing, which is, when is it time to fight? When is it time to walk away? When is it time to pull up your garden? When is it time to plant it? Watch out for impatience. Watch out for, the reactivity or the responsiveness, and just get curious about it all. Get really, really curious. Also, what comes in with this Mars conjunct Saturn is this kind of really like disciplined courage. And we talked about courage with the sun being conjunct Chiron. It takes courage to shine our light, like Bonnie was talking about, like shine that sun in and inwards. It takes some courage to do that, and some vulnerability as well, right? Just like we were talking about with Kermit. All right. And do you have anything to bring in, Bonnie, before I move on to the last aspect? Cool. Thanks, babe. The last aspect, and I didn't want to leave this out, but we're going to talk more about this next week. This is just going to be a light touch base on this, which is Sunday, Taurus is moving into the sun. So we're going to be lessening the me within the Aries and the sun because we are like now in the final degrees of that. And we're going to be moving Taurus into the sun. And that's happening right around the 19th, 20th, depending on where you are in the world. And what this brings in is fire is going to be getting grounded down into the earth, right? Like really like magma is coming in, right? Like not lava, which is on the surface, but like magma below the earth. The fire below the earth is what's coming in. And I just hit all throughout my root chakra. I'm like feeling that almost like Kundalini is coming in again with the snakes, right? That Kundalini energy of like that fire down in the root chakra. And this is from warrior to builder, right? This is from warrior to somebody that the Taurus is all about the home state and all about just like comfort at just such a visceral, embodied level. And it's going to be slow down and look at what you are creating. So everything that I keep getting is like, slow down, guys. Just fucking slow down. So that's all I got for the space weather. I'm gonna go get quiet for a moment because we're at time and Bonnie's gonna hopefully close us out. If you could, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. I know I'm like vibrating so much right now. So it's telling me to give you additional information on this card. I'm gonna take you off for a second. With this Threads of Fate deck, this is a fire card. So we're back to the Aries. And it always has an animal, a plant, and a stone. So snake is very obvious. The plant is a dandelion. And what keeps popping out to me is vitamin C. This is all about loading yourself with the vitamins and minerals for your system, how it's an incredible medicine and good for the digestion system, which we really need as part of that solar plexus lighting us up. And then the stone is the fire opal. I'm not sure who this is for. Make sure to tap into the frequency, the energy, even using in your mind's eye the image of the fire opal to call in and bring in your passion and vibrancy with your movement.
I got what came into is it's not always actual vitamins. Like the way that you stated that was really, really incredible. And that was that what are your vitamins, right? What are your vitamins, right? It could be, yes, going and taking literal ass vitamins, or it could be going and reading your book. Like I recently just did a entire thing of like, what are my pillars? What are my basic needs? What are my basic needs? And what I'll do is I'll show you that in school. It's very vulnerable. And also, like, I'll share what I made for myself. And if you guys want to copy it, you can. But I figured out what are my main pillars in my life that are important to me. What are what are the things that are non-negotiables and what are the things that I still have to do, right? So what are your vitamins? I know for me, creativity is a vitamin. So like painting something or, doing something. I also know my brain is a vitamin. So like puzzle games. I love puzzle games. So yeah, I'll post that up in school because yeah, I'll send you the picture, Bonnie. Or if I send you the picture, Bonnie, can you post it in school or do you want me to post it in school?
Both. I do want both. I want you to
Well,
make a
I'll
video
post
or
it.
something. It feels like you have
Okay.
a lot more transmission in there for us.
Yeah, it might be like it'll be probably a couple of days before I can get to
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I'll do a
No,
little video and then I'll post a picture along with the video so you guys can have it. So come hang out in school if you want that free content. You're more than welcome to it.
I love this. Everyone take a deep breath as we land and arrive back at the end of our session today, allowing anything that isn't resonant with you to just melt away into the earth, anything that is yours to gather in your system and carry you forward from today. You always have this video to come back to either on YouTube or on school. And take another deep breath. This is your chance to yes and. Make this about you. Make this about what is pushing you forward, where your light is, where your life, your fire, your ignition and you're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing to fix, change, or do. This is your opportunity to be. Yeah, I'm seeing like chains locking you in to not as a binding, but as connecting to the things that are meant for you.
Hmm.
We really appreciate everyone for showing up live. Stay on for the after hours, like and follow, subscribe, all the fun things. Yes, 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 yes.
I want to like, how do we make those little button things that other people have? They're like, look, poke this little button. We'll figure it out at some point, guys. But just like, subscribe, comment. Let us know. Let us know how this
It,
week's going for you.
it should be putting them in. I think I've been getting them. Yeah, maybe I haven't, but I
I
know how
don't
to do
know.
it. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll figure it out. We're building this airplane in the sky, guys. Thanks for joining along.
Yeah.
See you next
All right.
week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.